Money rarely changes because of motivation. It changes when small behaviors quietly stay the same for years, shaping results long before anyone notices. Hello, I'm Max, and if this content helps you understand how money actually works in real life, I invite you to like and subscribe. Here, we talk about finances calmly and with perspective, focusing on small decisions that quietly shape long-term outcomes. The first habit that makes a huge difference is creating distance between income increases and lifestyle changes. When people earn more, their spending often rises automatically. A better apartment, more subscriptions, more convenience. Each upgrade feels justified, even deserved. The problem is not enjoying progress, but allowing every increase in income to disappear into higher expenses. Those who build wealth tend to pause before adjusting their lifestyle. They let income grow first, creating space between what they earn and what they spend. Over time, that space becomes flexibility. This habit is simple, but uncomfortable at first. It requires resisting the urge to immediately reward oneself. Yet it does not mean living poorly or denying enjoyment. It means choosing timing deliberately. By delaying lifestyle expansion, people give compounding a chance to work quietly in the background. The second habit is treating savings as a system, not a decision. Many people save only when they feel motivated or when money is left over. This makes saving fragile. A system-based approach removes emotion from the process. Automatic transfers, fixed percentages, and predefined rules ensure consistency regardless of mood or circumstance. When saving becomes automatic, progress continues even during periods of low attention. This habit matters because financial outcomes are shaped more by consistency than by intensity. Small, automated contributions over long periods often outperform sporadic, larger efforts. The simplicity lies in removing choice from the equation. The third habit is regularly reviewing financial direction, not just numbers. Checking balances alone provides limited insight. What matters more is whether money is moving toward goals that still make sense. Periodic reflection helps identify drift. Expenses creep in. Priorities change. Without review, habits persist long after they stop serving their purpose. This review does not need to be frequent or detailed. Even occasional reflection creates alignment. It shifts focus from reacting to monthly outcomes to steering long-term direction. Another overlooked habit is protecting future flexibility. This means avoiding commitments that permanently raise fixed expenses unless they clearly add long-term value. Fixed costs reduce adaptability. They limit options during change. People who maintain flexibility can respond calmly to unexpected opportunities or setbacks. This habit is not about fear, but about optionality. Finally, there is the habit of allowing progress to remain invisible for long periods. Many abandon good habits because results are not immediately visible. Wealth-building habits work slowly and quietly. Those who persist without constant validation gain an advantage precisely because most people give up too early. None of these habits are complex. They do not require advanced knowledge or extreme sacrifice. Their power comes from alignment with human behavior and time. When applied consistently, they reshape outcomes in ways that feel almost unfair in hindsight. The difference between those who struggle financially and those who build stability is often not intelligence or effort, but the presence of simple habits applied patiently. Over time, these habits compound, turning small decisions into meaningful results. Once the foundation is set, the next habits that make a meaningful difference are often even quieter. They rarely feel productive in the moment, and they don't create visible change quickly. Yet over time, they shape financial outcomes more reliably than any short-term strategy. One of these habits is making financial decisions slightly slower than feels comfortable. Most financial mistakes happen under time pressure. A quick purchase, a rushed commitment, or an impulsive upgrade often feels justified in the moment. Slowing down introduces space between impulse and action. Even a short pause can change outcomes. People who consistently delay non-essential decisions tend to spend less, commit more intentionally, and avoid long-term obligations that later feel restrictive. This habit does not require extreme restraint. It simply replaces urgency with intention. Over years, Fewer rushed decisions mean fewer regrets, lower fixed expenses, and more flexibility. The difference compounds quietly. Another important habit is separating financial progress from emotional reward. Many people expect money decisions to feel motivating or satisfying. Saving, investing, or paying down obligations often feels unrewarding because the benefit is delayed. As a result, people abandon good habits in favor of choices that provide immediate emotional feedback. Those who make progress learn to accept emotional neutrality. They do not rely on excitement to stay consistent. Money habits become routine, almost boring. This boredom is not a flaw, it is a signal that systems are working. When progress no longer depends on mood, consistency improves naturally. A third habit is limiting the number of financial decisions made repeatedly. Decision fatigue plays a larger role in money management than most people realize. Repeatedly deciding whether to save, spend, or invest drains energy. Over time, fatigue leads to shortcuts and inconsistency. Simple rules reduce this burden. Fixed percentages, predefined spending categories, and automatic transfers remove daily decision-making. Fewer decisions lead to fewer mistakes. This habit does not optimize every outcome, but it protects against slow erosion caused by inconsistency. Another habit that makes a significant difference is keeping fixed expenses intentionally lower than what feels affordable. Many people base affordability on current income. Those who build stability base it on flexibility. Lower fixed costs create room to adapt when circumstances change. They reduce stress during uncertainty and increase options during opportunity. This does not mean avoiding comfort entirely. It means choosing commitments carefully and understanding that fixed costs shape future freedom more than variable spending. Over time, this habit preserves optionality, which is often more valuable than short-term comfort. Finally, there is the habit of allowing progress to remain private. Public validation creates pressure. When financial goals are tied to external approval, decisions become performative. People may upgrade lifestyles, take on commitments, or change strategies to match expectations rather than reality. Quiet progress removes this pressure. When habits are internal and outcomes are not broadcast, decisions become calmer and more aligned. This habit protects against social comparison and allows long-term thinking to guide behavior. None of these habits appear impressive on their own. They do not signal success or intelligence. Their power comes from alignment with human behavior and time. Applied consistently, they reduce friction, protect flexibility, and allow compounding to work uninterrupted. Together with the habits discussed earlier, they form a pattern. Not a strategy, but a way of operating. Over years, this pattern separates those who feel constantly behind from those who quietly move forward, often without dramatic changes or visible milestones. Progress built this way rarely feels urgent, but it is durable. And durability, more than intensity, is what ultimately makes the biggest difference. When these habits are practiced together, their real impact becomes clearer. Each one is modest on its own, but combined, they create a system that quietly supports long-term progress. This is why their effect often goes unnoticed at first. There is no single turning point, no dramatic moment where everything changes. Instead, stability builds gradually, almost invisibly. What makes these habits effective is not discipline alone, but alignment. Decisions begin to reinforce each other. Slower choices reduce regret. Lower fixed costs preserve flexibility. Automated systems protect consistency. Emotional neutrality removes pressure. Together, they reduce friction and allow time to work in your favor. Over time, this approach changes how money feels. Instead of being reactive, decisions become calmer. Instead of chasing motivation, behavior becomes routine. Progress continues even during periods of distraction or uncertainty, because the system does not rely on constant attention. Many people search for better advice, more information, or smarter strategies. What they often need instead is fewer decisions and better habits. The difference between feeling stuck and moving forward is rarely knowledge. It is structure. These habits do not promise quick results. They offer something more reliable, sustainability. They allow progress to remain steady without constant effort or emotional strain. This is why their impact feels disproportionate in hindsight. In the end, meaningful financial change rarely comes from doing more. It comes from doing a few simple things consistently, and letting them compound quietly over time. Those who embrace this approach may not notice the difference immediately, but eventually, the results speak for themselves.